YouTube, what's good? This is your boy Keith the Prestige, and today we are going to go over Colorado versus Nebraska, mainly Colorado's offense, and talk about what is going on and why is Colorado's team just underperforming as an offensive perspective. Obviously, you guys know that I was a former college lineman, whatever. Today, I'm going to break you guys down what I see watching CU and what I think they need to improve on for the upcoming season, especially against CSU this upcoming week. So we're going to break down all the offensive plays, and at the end, I will show you guys what I personally think that needs to be addressed and what needs to be being fixed going on throughout the upcoming season. So the first play we are going over here is the 3rd and 10 on the opening drive. 14 minutes left, 48 seconds left. Obviously, it's a passing formation, passing down, 3rd and 10 type of play where offense needs it to stay alive and keep the drive going, especially since it is, opening drive. You kind of want to set the tone early. So as an offensive side, what do you see? All right, well, first you got spread. You can tell because you have your 2 wide receivers out here, and then you get 2 wide receivers right here with a 1 running back. So we call that a 10 personnel. 1 running back, 0 tight ends. So what does that say? Is that 1, there's not going to be a whole lot of time. You don't have a whole lot of extra pass blockers on there. You don't got a tight end to chip one of these guys. You have to throw the ball relatively quickly. The second thing I see as an offensive lineman is this right here. You have 3 offensive linemen to the left of the center. So as an offensive lineman, what does that tell me? Well, 1, someone over here is going to come on over. I don't know who, but somebody is going to come on over and come right here. He's going to come right here. And why is that? Is if you just go straight down, right? And he go straight down. Shedeur Sanders is then going to be able to step up in the pocket and make his access route right here. Right here will be his running lane if he wants it. Or this little running back can do a little hitch route and go. Or he can just go out into the flat and have a good 10 yards. And so what happens actually? See what I said. Exactly what I said. Let's rewind it. All right, takes off. It gets that context. And then he just swims right over. As a center, you have to plant your foot. You know that 3 defensive linemen are on your left side. One of them is going to come back over. Who is going to come back over? That is the question. So, if you understand that, center, have your post foot set and solid. You do not need to drop back even more. As soon as you realize that, just 1-2 step back and sit. Wait for him to make his move. And instead, he gets the break. Terrible chip from 67. Even worse chip from your running back. So now Shedeur Sanders is about 3 to 4 yards past of where he started. So now what does he have to do? He has to step up to where that defensive lineman beat the center, beat the right guard, beat the running back, and he has to somehow try and escape right through here. And what happens? Okay, nothing, and the center ends up on his ass. Yeah, and you should be mad. You should be mad at that. You should be hitting the floor because you have to understand situational football. And 9 times out of 10, your offensive line coach, your offensive coordinator is going to tell you, if you understand the situational football, you are going to understand and how to win games. It is that simple. So the center not realizing that, automatic F on that play. Your center has to be the smartest one out of all 5 offensive linemen. That play, 100% on the center. All right, we got 1st and 10 after Horn's big kick return. And so what do we come in as a offense? So what we come out in is trips right with a 1 to 11 personnel. I don't know if he's playing tight end or what his role is, but that's what we got. I'm just going to say 11 personnel, trips to the right, trips to the field. To the field means whoever has the more space. So if it was trips left to the field, you would line up obviously over here. Or, sometimes they just call it trips to the field. So what do you got here? It looks like 1st and 10, and it looks like you're going pass. Am I right on this? Yes, I am. And another sack. Let's rebind it. All right, so holy shit, center, you're going to make me lose my shit You're going to make me lose my shit. He is going right. Going right. How do I know he's going right? His whole body is shifted right. Oh, shocker. Now, I get it. It's a play action, and it's like a zone, but like, still. And what? He still goes through. He still goes through. All right? So he goes through, wrecks the play, and it makes it where you can't do anything. So what do you do as an offensive line perspective during this? All right, so you're sliding left. This tight end, fullback, whatever you want to call him, he's coming over for a bootleg. Essentially, that's what it is. It's a bootleg. So you're sliding left. He's coming over, and he's faking the handoff, and he's sitting right here to protect whoever comes through. Now, we know that this is him. All right, we know it's him, but just say we didn't know. So he's bootleg, so we're sliding to the left. He's coming through. He's faking the handoff, and he's right here, and he's picking off the first person. So what needs to happen right here is Shedeur needs to find whoever his target is and just pick it apart, right? My go-to guy right now is right here. What I would do if I was the offensive coordinator is see the next closest guy is right here. Do a little flat. Do something. Get him out. I'm calling that a go route, where if he wants to stick on him, he's going to leave him wide open. I'm giving him like a post corner. Something just so then this guy, this should be who the target ball is to right here on this play. Just get the short yards. And what that does is, yeah, it's not flashy and it's not going to end up on college football highlights. But what it does is it sets up 2nd and 6. It sets up 3rd and 4. You know, it sets up more manageable plays. So let's break it down. So we're doing bootleg with a 11 personnel. Sliding left. He's coming over. His guy is going to be number 1. And this running back's job is going to be able to sit right here and just chip. Just chip. You know, it's this play, honestly, is terrible for a running back. Your running backs are not going to be happy with the offensive coordinator when this happens because it's a 300 to 280 pound defensive lineman just demolishing this running back. All right, so we're sliding left. He's coming over. He's picking up number 1, and the running back is sitting right here. What Shedeur needs to do now is he needs to sell this handoff. So he needs to go with it, and then he needs to come over here and run away from the protection. So he snaps it, doesn't really sell the handoff. Number 1 just gets blown by. Nobody chips him. And now this guy is just out of position, doesn't have his head turned. If he had his head turned, maybe he chips him here. All right, so now what is Shedeur seeing? He's seeing this guy is looking at him. He's breaking in. He's coming back over. Well, 1, he out of the equation. I don't know who that is. Number 6. I believe it's number 6. Out of the equation. Why? Because 1, 2, 3. Hospital pass or an interception. All right, so now you probably got like a switch concept going right here. So switch concept is pretty much being he either has to this cornerback down here, I'm sorry, I don't have the good film, but this cornerback right here is going to have to decide, do I stick on this guy or do I stick on him? And Shedeur is going to decide right then and there, all right, who am I throwing to? If this cornerback stays on him, then I got him, I got the leverage, I'm throwing here. If this corner right here stays in his zone and picks up this little wide receiver, I think it's Horn on display, then we're going to try and pick him off right here. But because he gets beat, or this guy just goes through the slide, he has no time to read it, and he is not looking at it. And yes, Shedeur Sanders needs to have better recognition of this. Yes, he knows there's one guy here, but he needs to know that somebody's coming, and this ball needs to be thrown now. And it should be thrown right here. He's going to do a little speed in or a 5-yard in, and that ball needs to be thrown right here. While he goes out here, he's going to drop back some more, and he's going to drop back. That ball needs to come back right here. Boom, now. That ball needs to come out now. And instead, he holds it, or he can even throw it now. But the problem is that he got beat. 67 is running. This is what you don't want to see as an offensive coordinator. You don't want to see your right guard and your left guard just running towards their man. You know what you call that play? A fucked up play. When you have to chase your man, yep, that's you're fucked up. You're gonna get your ass chewed. So now that Shedeur can't sit, what does he have to do? He has to try and scramble. What I would like him to do is kind of move out here and sit. That defense is now going to flow over here. Now he can, if he has the ability to, cross body and hit 6 right here. But instead, he rolls the other way, and I wish Shedeur wouldn't do this. He does this a lot during games where he rolls the opposite way of what I think he should be doing. Now, I'm sure I'm not a D1 quarterback. I don't claim to be a D1 quarterback. But you never, in my opinion, should roll towards your opposite way. So he's right-handed. He's rolling left with a guy right here. Why not plant your foot and just go? Like, dude, I'm sorry, but you are Shedeur Sanders. I know you are more athletic to beat this guy on a dead-on sprint. I know you are. So, like I said, this ball needs to be thrown, not to him. He needs to choose between these two, but because of this 67 guy right here, because what I said, that guy is angled in, as an offensive lineman, you got to have your head up. You have to understand situational football. You have to get that. And this guy needs to understand that he needs to have his head up. One is clearly untouched. This running back has to get him. That running back did everything he was supposed to do in that play. This guy ultimately lost. Same with this guy. These two right here made this play negative yards. So if he comes back in, that's obviously a good pickup. Now he has time to deliver this ball to Travis Hunter, I believe, which is right here. Instead, what does it do? Turns into a sack. All right, so what do we got right here? We got 2nd and 21, and we're in 5 wide, empty formation, and they're going to send 3. This guy's not coming. He's not an athletic stance. This guy might come, but I highly doubt it. He's probably going to drop back to right here, probably that seam, and he's probably going to come right here and cover the middle route. And this guy are going to drop back and to have like deep halves, and this guy's going to play the flat or the seam, and this guy is either going to play flat or the deep half, but it looks like they're in dime, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back and covers a quarter. So obvious passing situation, 2nd and 21, you just let up that huge play. You have to push the ball down the field, and I absolutely agree with this play call by Deion Sanders. Drops back, 1-2, and he throws it. Love this by Travis Hunter. No effort at blocking. No effort at blocking. That's what I love to see right there. But, Travis Hunter, this one play right here isn't going to cost him any draft stock. Hey, Horn just runs hard. He just runs hard. All right, what do I like about this play? One, it shows that Shedeur is very knowledgeable and when he needs to get that ball out. You heard me say 1-2, and that is more or less the beat that this CU offense needs to be taken. That 1-2, he needs to be making his reads before the defense comes, right? So it's 1-2 throw, 1-2 throw. Get your guys in space. So what does he do? 1-2 set throw. Perfect. Get that gain of yards, and he's going to go. So now it's going to be about 3rd and 15, 3rd and 11, which is a whole lot manageable than 2nd and 21. All right, we got 3rd and 11. They're sending blitz. Obviously, I paused it before as the snap is happening, but you're sending the blitz, so you're alert, as what the quarterbacks would call it in my offense is that you're on alert. You're sending at least 4 to 5, and it looks like at this time you're sending 4 and you're in empty. So what does that tell you as an offensive lineman? Is that one, you're in pass pro. Absolutely. What's going to happen is 77, he's going to be on an island. He's going to be on an island. And what should happen, I kid you not, I talked about this in my NCAA how to pass tutorial. My first one. If you are stacked to the right side, half slide to the right. After this guy, after 68 down should be a half slide. And 68's post foot his left post foot needs to be up. So if he comes around, he's going to be fine. Where if he comes over here, he can just wash it out in the slide. All right. So that's one thing I see as an offensive lineman. As a coach, what am I seeing? I'm seeing it's a cover 3. Why? Because you got that one high safety. So that tells me that they are expecting pass. You very rarely see a cover 3 blitz with a, nod pass. They're not expecting pass. All right. And it's good situational football at Nebraska to understand that it's 3rd and 11. They're getting to this. They're trying, at least, to get the first down. All right. So you got empty. I already talked about the O-line. Let's see what happens. Boom. That ball, he needs to fire that right now. No. Oh, rewinded it too far. Good job, Horn. He needs to throw the ball now. He needs to throw the ball now. He needs to have his head on his shoulders to get that turn in. He needs to understand that's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 yardage between these two. He needs to cut it up early, and Shedeur needs to hit him, and that's a wide open lane. Yes, he can make that tackle, but you have to trust your wide receiver that he can beat this guy, and he can beat him to the middle of the field. All right? And what I also like is I like number 10 right here. He has leverage. If that offensive line gives him 2 more seconds, and he cuts in, he has a whole lot of yards. I don't like this little curl route right here, and I don't like the flat. It's 3rd and 11. You need to be going. You need to be pushing vertical. I'll talk about this later, but I think what's one of the biggest problems with CU right now is that you have too many plays going vertical when there are times where you need to be going horizontal and getting your wide receivers out in the open. And there are too many times where you are going horizontal when you need to be going vertical. Here's a good explanation right here. Not one person is past this. Your best player is on a 2-yard comeback, 2-yard curl, whatever you want to call it. Your second best player, probably your fastest player, is on a flat. You have to understand situational football, and you have to at least go for this yard. Checking it down and just, hoping he catches it, breaks the tackle, and goes is very unlikely. So I think that's part of my problem that I'm having right now with CU is that I feel like they're calling the wrong plays at the right time. Whereas if they called them a little bit differently, they would be in pretty good position. So he throws it, catches it, and just gets very close. 4th and 2, 4th and 1 is very close. But I'm telling you, if he threw that ball, if he comes in right here, and now I know it's a 5-yard in. I understand that. But, man, if he just 1-2 steps goes, man, I don't know. I like that opportunity. You saw how physical he was on that 5-yard in and where he got to this little hash. He was a yard or 2 away. He was so close where I think if he just goes 1, boom, and he just cuts right here, I think Shedeur Sanders is a good enough athlete. I think these guys are good enough athletes to make it where, okay, that's a catch, that's a first down. I think that's a missed opportunity by Dion, but we live and we learn. All right. I just watched this play, and I just want to talk about the offensive line play right here. One, what did I say earlier about 3 defensive linemen stacked to one side? One of them is eventually going to come over. Watch what the center does. All right. He pushes his hand out and makes contact with him and lets his right guard know there's somebody coming. All right. And look, they have slid the line. If I can, I'll go back right here. But watch. They have slid the line because they understand that the protection needs to be going left. Because why? There's 3 people to the side. All right. So he punches over. All right. Now he makes contact and he knows, all right, my right guard got him. All right. This is the hardest plug right here in the whole play. 1-on-1 on an island. What are you going to do, 54? What are you going to do? All right. Boom. Perfect chipped from the running back. And look at Dylan's pocket. Look at the pocket. This man is running away. Not running away literally, but he was spinning away from the play. you have to understand situational football from the both offensive and defensive side. If you're spinning, you have to hook his shoulder blade and get under him. What you're doing is you're just allowing him to reset and kick back even more and let Dylan set up all day and pick your defense alive. All right. Now, I'm going to go back and find their like stack to the side and show the difference. All right, 3 to the side. Ready? All right, they slide. Good. Hey, right guard and center. Where's the communication? Where's the communication? Because if we rewind it, right? Here, let's put it in slow-mo just to expose your ass. All right, where's the communication? He's coming back over. Your eyes are still on this linebacker. Listen, all offensive linemen listening to this. From D2, NAIA, FCS, NAIA, D3. I know I said NAIA twice. That's how passionate I am about this shit. If you're watching this right now, if a motherfucker does not make contact with you within 3 seconds of the play, that tells you they are dropping back. Your eyes now need to shift over to your center who lost. Has to shift back. And you just chip him. There's a whole lot of miscommunication on the offensive line front. All right. His eyes are still back here. He's all right. You didn't make contact. All right. You need to look back inside, man. All right. And by the time you do, your hand is on his ass. You're literally telling him, "Hey, my man, go get him. Go get him." Like it's so piss poor communication with the offensive line. And so now we cut back to when Nebraska had to face it. Now I understand a lot of their offensive line have come back to for 3 to their 4th year. So they've played a lot of time together. But just watch how perfectly they slide. They get the double team on the pass block. 51 then comes back in and helps out the center again when he knows he has nobody. He gets pancaked. 56 is washing him out. Now Dylan has to, just because, you know, he has to make something to give his like offensive line a little bit more time. You know, that's a good IQ from the QB right there. He has to step up and make something happen. But it's just like the difference between the communication between Nebraska and CU of this game was just unbelievable.